Okay, note that there are few ways. There are few ways of writing. So this kind of program. So there are few ways of writing the loops. So this. So what you call loop is actually. So if you can see, let me annotate. If you can see this kind of pattern, the arrows are going this direction, then it's going down, and you can see arrows are forming a cycle. So when you start from here, these arrows are forming a cycle. Then we call that as a loop. So when these arrows are forming a cycle, we call that category loop. Right? When you have loops, so there are few ways of writing the program. Okay, so I think better you draw in your flow chart. So better you draw the arrow direction. If arrows are forming a cycle, we call that as a loop. So you can use your pencil or any other color pen, and you can draw on top of the flow chart. So, but that is not belongs to the flow chart, just for the understanding. So that is not belongs to the flow chart, just for understanding. You can just draw this loop. Okay, when you have a loop, right? When you have a loop like this, when arrows are forming a cycle. So, but see this. So let me clear this, right? Let me clear this and show the previous one. So when you go to the previous one, there are also like loops. But see, these arrows are not forming cycles. Here, this yes direction, it's coming down, going this way, and no mechanism to go up here. You come this way, go this way, but then after that, where to go? You can either go, only location you can go is going down, but you can't go up. That is not a loop. Here also, when it comes the no direction and going yes direction and coming down, again these arrows you can see it's pointing here. Again, it's not going up. And if you go this side here, here, again no way to go up. These are not loops, right? These are not loops. But the recent one that we saw, is forming a cycle. It's forming a cycle. It's going down, and then this direction, and this direction, and this direction, and this direction is going this way. Here, here, it's going up. It's going up means it's forming a loop. So very important to identify these loops in the flow charts. If you identify a loop in a flow chart, then you have few ways of writing this in pseudocode and actual code. Right? Okay, finish drawing. ඔක උඩින් නිකන් ඇඳ ගන්න. ලූප් එකක් කියන්නේ එක පැත්තකට ඊතල ගමන් කරනවා නම් රවුමට වක්‍රාකාරව එක පැත්තකට ඊතල ගමන් දැන් මෙතනින් ඇවිල්ලා අපහු there's a continuity. You can come down and then again go up. You can come down and again go up. This is called loop. It's repetition. Repetition වල විශේෂ ලක්ෂණය තමයි මේ loops. හැබැයි රවුම් වගේ තිබ්බට උඩ එකේ loop එකක් නැහැ. Because arrows are not going the same direction. So if arrows are not going the same direction, it's not a loop. Okay, so is there any question? Yes. Okay, I'll check the answer, right? I'll check the answer, Situ. So first of all, you have to understand what is a loop. Okay, then so also you can write down over there. If put asterisk and you can write if arrows are forming a cycle, then that is called loop. If arrows are forming a cycle, then that is called a loop. In repetition, you can see loops. In repetition, we can see loops. In repetition, we can see loops. Okay, let's see. If you get this kind of loop, okay, if you have sent me to the WhatsApp, then I can just go through this. Okay, so let's see. Okay, begin. If and else. So the problem here, this is okay, Situn. But the problem here is how you go up. So this is okay. So ඔයාලගේ knowledge එක අනුව ඔයාලා දැනට දන්න දේවල් අනුව මේක තමයි ලියන්නේ. This is okay. So but if you find a loop, there's another way of telling or instructing the computer to go up. Because this if c less than 10, yes, then print the number. That is true. And number is number plus 1. That is also true. C equals c plus 1. That is also true. The first time number is 1 and it's adding, so number will be printed. That is 1. Number is number plus 2. Metan 2 and non. Number is the number plus 2. Number equal number plus 2. එතකොට number එක 3 වෙනවා. c equals c plus 1. එතකොට c එක 2 වෙනවා. හැබැයි මේකේ කියන්නේ නැහැ ආපහු මුලට යන්න කියලා. So please go back කියන එක අපිට arrows දාන්න බෑ. To do that, so print maybe else printer invalid or whatever. Right, okay. So to do that, we have special instruction in the loops. So you can just start or begin. Then you can say number equal 1 and c is equal to 1 according to this. Number equal 1 and c is also equal to 1. And instead of using if, we are using while here. That is special keyword. You can say while c less than or equal to 10. Do what you should do. While c is less than or equal to 10. Can c 10ට වඩා අඩු වෙන තුරාවට නැවත do it again and again. What you have to do is print the num, and you have to do num equal num plus 2, and you have to then increase c equals c plus 1. So while this is less than, so after finishing that, while when c is greater than, then while will be end. So you can say end while, right? End while, and then you can stop the program or end the program. So this is how you write the pseudocode related to this. And there's another way. This is method 1, right? So please write method 1. And this is called method 1. Method 2, there's another method of telling the same. You can say method 2 for c equal 1 to 10. Then you can end the for. For c equal 1 to 10, print num equal num plus 2. So this, no need to instruct, go one by one, because it will automatically go one by one. This is method 2. And now you know the method 1 and method 2 both. And there's another method as well, but normally we are not using that in Python, but still better writing down that. Better write down that as well. Third method is so please write all 3 methods, right? Because in the examination, don't know which kind of method that you get. It depends. So write all 3 possibilities. Third one, you have to tell begin, same thing. Again, num equal 1, and you can say c equal 1. And you can say repeat. Repeat what? Repeat, print the num equal num plus 2 and c equal c plus 1 until, you have to tell the other way, until c greater than 10. When c greater than 10, end repeat and end the code. So this is the third way of doing the same. That's why I said, so this is different than if else. The loops are different than if else. Please write down all three methods. Right? Write down this quickly, right? Equivalent. Right. So these three methods, basically you can write, but not the third one. Third one is quite difficult in Python, but there are some other programming languages which use the third style. But first two styles can be used in Python. And Python, so you can use three methods. So one is you can go to the simplest way, you can go to online Python compiler and you can write your code there. Online Python compiler, then you can write your code there directly and run it. Right. So let me write my code over there and I'll use all three mechanisms. So the first one, I'm going to copy the same, right? I'm going to copy the same, but except the begin and except the end and end while, I can just erase all these. Then I can write num equal, then c equal 1, and while should be simple w, right? While c less than or equal to 10, do is also not needed. You need colon. And print num, you can write in the simple print within bracket num, just and that's it. Print num equal num plus 2 and c equals c plus 1. Then just run it and you will get the results. Oh, what is c equals c plus 1? So what's wrong with that? C equals c plus 1 is correct. Let's erase this one, print, and num equal num plus c, yes, then 1 plus 2 will c equals c plus 1. Okay, you can see it's generating the output 1 to 19. So that is simplest way of writing the program using online Python compile, and you can just use the same code and write in IDLE. Go to the IDLE and then go to file new, and the new file you can write the code. Then you can save the program, save it as let's save as p3.py. Py is the Python extension, p3.py. Save it. Yes. Then run it, run and run module, and you can see the same output over there. That is the first method. So you can do the same using PyDroid, right? PyDroid. If you're using a mobile phone to write the code, you can use PyDroid. So this is the program, right? We have to download the app and write the code. PyDroid. We have already used that. Right. Okay. So let's go to the second method quickly, right? So I'll separate this. I'll write the second method in the same code. Second method is for. You can say for. Okay, let's comment the first method. First method let's stop this temporary. You can comment the code and stop code running temporary. Now this code won't run. Now let's begin. So let's say num equal 1, and you can say for c in range. You have to tell the starting point is 1 and the ending point is once it is 11. So what do you have to do? Under that you can write print the num, and you can say num equal num plus 2. That's all. That is the for loop. And then the second one will be executed and you will see the same result. 1 to 19, the same results will be given. Okay, the third one, you can start from, so third one is, I said that, as I said, the third one is not really there in Python, but let's give a try. තුන්වෙනි එක Python වල නැහැ. ඒත් මම නිකන් පෙන්නන්නම් කොහොමද කරන්නේ කියන එක වගේ. You can say num equal 1 and c equal 1. You have to use same while, right? Same while, because you don't have repeat. While 1. You can print the while true is also okay. While 1 or while true. Print the num. And then you have to tell num equal num plus 2 while num, print num while num. So if, so this should be done if num, sorry, if c is okay, or you can say if c greater than 10, then stop, then break. So this is abnormal. This is not the real implementation of repeat, but just to acknowledge you, I'm doing this. But මේ දෙක මතක තියාගන්න. මේ තමයි ප්‍රධාන ක්‍රම දෙක. මෙහෙම ක්‍රමයක් නැහැ අත්‍තරම. මේක මම නිකන් මේ හදලා ලියන. මෙහෙම ක්‍රමයක් නැහැ. num 1යි c 1යි while true කියන්නේ මේක run වෙන්න පටන් ගන්නවා. හැබැයි එතකොට ඉස්සලම් බලනවා c 10ට වැඩි වැඩිද? c 10ට වැඩි නම් break. මෙතනින් එළියට යනවා. එහෙම නැත්නම් තමයි num එක print කරලා එකක් වැඩි කරලා c equal c plus 1 කියන එක කරන්නේ. So capital simple matters, right? You have to use the same. Okay, let's run this. This will also run, but this is not, right? This is not here. You can see it will also run, but that is not the exact repeat until rule. Repeat until like a concept එක තියෙන්නේ. ඒ කියන්නේ මේකේ දැන් normally, so when it is a while loop, you first check. So it's like this. Before swimming, you just check whether you can swim. පීනන්න කලින් වා පීනන්න පුළුවන්ද කියලා බලලා තමයි වතුරට පනින්නේ. That is while loop. Before swim, you can just check whether you can swim, and if possible only you jump to the water and start swimming. The second one is, it's not like that. So you jump to the river here without checking any condition. You jump to the river, but in case if you fail, you come out, right? So this is actually try and error. You just give a try. If you find this kind of condition, you come and you exit from there. So when you need the second one, so normally we use this one, but when you download something, what will happen? Well, download karaddi, you use this method, right? You start downloading. Download karaddi ekaparaම download කරන්න පටන් ගන්න. You start downloading, but when you download, so what will happen? Your pen drive space will not be, so maybe you have limited space in your pen drive. You download 4 GB file, but in your pen drive you have only 1 GB. So after some time, the download will tell that, so free some space, otherwise we can't copy the file. First free some space, then we can give a try to copy the file. Download කරනකොට එකපාරට download වෙන්න පටන් ගන්නවා. මගට ගිහිල්ලා කියනවා, we don't have space, free some space and we can copy. So that is the try and error method. So this is try method, the third one, repeat until one. But when you try to copy a file from one location to another location, it first check whether space is not enough. And if space is not enough, it initially gives the error. Which is faster and which is better? Yes? Which is better and which is faster? Condition එක බලලා try කරන එකද හොඳ? Condition එක බලලා ඒකට එකඟනම් කරන එකද හොඳ? නැත්නම් එකපාර කරලා පස්සේ condition එක බලන එකද හොඳ? Which is best? Yes? Condition එක බලලා කරන එක හොඳයි. Which is faster? Faster is, so try and error method, repeat until method. That is faster because you start doing that. And after that only කරන්න පටන් ගෙන තමයි බලන්නේ කරන්න පුළුවන්ද බැරිද කියලා. Sometimes you need that, no? You need that. For an example, if you need to drive, you have to drive. Drive and see whether you can drive. So if you fail, then only you have to correct, like so. But without driving, if you go for tuition for driving, you will never drive. So similar to that, how you start walking in your childhood. පොඩි කාලේ ඇවිදින්න පටන් ගත්තේ this try and error method. ඉස්සෙල්ලා ඇවිදින්න ඕන. ඇවිදලා වැටෙනවා. ඉතින් වැටුනම තමයි වැටි තමයි පුරුදු වෙන්නේ. Try and error. So try when there's error, you start trying again. Try when there's error, you start trying again. That's how you started walking. So that is good when you are practicing, but not always, right? The A level එහෙම වා try and error කරනවට වැඩිය first check whether you can do the A level. And then if you are really confident, go for the exam and write the exam. So that is the best way. But faster way, you write the exam and see whether ලියලා බලලා මොකක්ද එන්නේ කියලා. That is faster. Okay, so can you understand the use of comments? ඇයි මම මේ hash use කරේ? What happen if I remove hash? Yes. Sachini, what happen if I remove hashes? Yes. Hashes sign කරොත් මොකද වෙන්නේ? Sachini? Okay, Koshadi, what will happen if I remove the hashes? Hash වලින් කියන්නේ comment වලින් කියන්නේ run වෙන්න එපා කියලා. If I remove the hashes, what will happen? What should happen? You can guess. Yes?
It runs.
Sorry? It runs, yes. It runs. It runs and it will give all three possibilities, right? That means first time, okay, first one, second one, and third one. It will print 3 times. This one, this one, this one. All three will, the first method, second method, then third method. All three will be printed. So you can say print method 1, print method 1, and then you can say print method 2, and method 3. All three will be printed. But if you use hashes, you can temporarily stop 1. But you can write all 3 methods. This is how you are doing. This is method 1, this is method 2, and method 3. You need some spaces. Therefore, I'm going to add a new line after this. To add a new line, I can use \n. \n to add a new line after the. Okay, then you can see. Okay, method 1, method 2, method 3. And actually, before this also, I need a new line. So let's add new line here. Not actually after this. Before this, I need a new line. Then you can see all 3 methods will be printed. Method 1, method 2, method 3. Before this, I need a new line. That's why I added /n to the beginning. Okay, shall we write down this quickly? Right, I'll give exercise after writing. Please write down and let me know once you're done, right? Spaces and indentation is very, very important because this is how Python recognizes the code syntaxes. So if you miss space or indentation, so it would, here if you, for an example, if you miss this print will not belong to while. But if you keep the space only, print belongs to while. So here, this print is not belongs to y. This print is not belongs to y. This one is also. So that's why it's one time. But whatever belongs to the loop will be repeated. The belongness is explained by colon. Then after that, space is there. After the colon, you keep space. So space, spellings, capital, simple letters, very important. Okay, finish or still doing? Right, finish. Finish. Okay, so those who have done, you can try with this, right? I'm going to give you another question. You can try with this. Those who have done, you can try this question. So let's add. This is how all three methods are included. Right. So please write the question. So now actually you have more work to do than me because this is practical and you have more work to do in this programming part. So I said that this is the longest chapter in your syllabus. This is the largest and longest chapters, and most of the students think Python is very difficult one, but it is not. It needs continuous focus and attention. So if you can give continuous focus and attention, and if you can come continuously to the classes and do the regular exercises, no need to study this again. එකපාරෙන් ඔලුවට දාගන්න පුළුවන්. Programming කියන එක පුතේ practice කරන්න ඕන. Need to practice. Without practicing, if you write in the book, it won't work. So practice and practice. Practice in different ways. Change the variables, change the values, and practice again. Then only we will understand this. Okay, so my question is this. Draw a flowchart and write pseudocode to print first 10 even numbers. Starting from 2. And write Python code to get this done. And not only that, there's another question. So that is draw a flowchart and write pseudocode to print first 10. Okay, let's write as a one question, right? First 10 even numbers. This is not required. Draw a flowchart, write down pseudocodes and Python codes to print first 10 even numbers, first 10 square numbers, first 10 triangular numbers, first 10 even numbers, square numbers, triangular numbers. Question number 2, write Python code to print the following patterns. Print following patterns. Pattern number 1 is this. And pattern number 2 and pattern number 3 is okay. So these are the questions that you should do related to this chapter, this topic. 2 questions. Please write down the questions. So please write down the question. If you need, sorry, ask the question number 3. So if you need the screenshot of the previous program, you can take it now. If you need a screenshot of previous program and you wish to try that, you can take it now.